Notre Dame has a quarterback problem. They've been striking out on QBs the last few years. I thought last year it was Sam Hartman was going to come in and he was going to be great. He was going to light it up. That didn't happen. They were in the mid 50s in passing yards per game. Notre Dame didn't have a pass catcher that was over 500 yards, and on top of that, their two top pass catchers were a running back in Chris Tyree and a tight end in Mitchell Evans. So their leading receiver, Rico Flores, had 392 passing or receiving yards. So they didn't even have a receiver go over 400 yards, let alone and then no pass catcher over 500 yards. That's just not going to cut it, and that's not the season I was expecting from Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman lit it up at Wake Forest. Holds a ton of ACC records, and quite frankly, if Notre Dame had a passing game last year, they may have made the playoffs. They had a great defense. They had a great team. They performed well against their schedule. Outside of, Louisville was kind of a bad loss, and Clemson could have gone either way. But if you had a legit quarterback back there, or I should say legit passing game, you're a real contender there. So they go back-to-back years in the portal. They bring in Sam Hartman last year. Now Riley Leonard, his experiment starts this year. And like before that, they had back-to-back failed commits in Drew Pine and Tyler Buckner. So they've had a quarterback problem for quite some time now. Like their last, decent QB was Jack Cohn, and he was a transfer from Wisco, and then obviously Ian Book was their last good homegrown quarterback, who had a really good career at Notre Dame. But like since Book and since Cone, it has been pretty dire there in South Bend. Now, looking up, if we want to have glass half full, you're bringing in Riley Leonard, hopefully as a stopgap for what you'll have in next year, and who's coming in this year with CJ Carr, a top 50 recruit. So put all your chips in there. Comes from football families, football guy. So hopefully he'll pan out. So, and then on top of that, overhauling the offensive coaching staff. So they're bringing back Mike Denbrock as offensive coordinator from LSU, who had just produced a Heisman Trophy winner in Jaden Daniels, and they had an electric offense. So we'll see what Mike Denbrock can do. They hired a new wide receivers coach from Wisconsin and previously at Cincinnati, and Gino Gaduli, who's that fun is saying that name, the quarterback coach. Now he has worked with Denbrock in the past at Cincy, and they had a really good connection. So there's some continuity here. There's some good things to look forward to, but. Right now they're still going to be trotting out Riley Leonard, transfer QB, and hope to, they're essentially replicating what they did last year. We'll see if there's any difference. Obviously, there's some things to look forward to, but having that offense and those receivers that are just not weapons becomes a problem. So what do they need to do to change that? They need to recruit at an elite level. Like they have the brand recognition to go with it. They just have not been able to bring in quarterbacks and receivers, that are as matching the level of what they need, really. So we'll see if the new offensive staff changes that a little bit and they can recruit a little better.